How is it possible that some people have been able to make life-changing gains with Bitcoin, while others heard about Bitcoin very early on, but then sold already after a gain of just 1 or 200%? What's different here between those people? What's psychologically, fundamentally going on? How can we avoid that if we find a winner early in the future, that we're not going to sell too early, that we actually have the chance of making life-changing gains? Because I talked with so many people that told me at one point I did have 10 Bitcoin, or I did have 100 Bitcoin even. But then I sold it all, I speculated with the altcoins, and I lost it on the altcoins. Or I sold it all in order to buy just something for consumption, right? Some technology gadget. And if I had just held onto that Bitcoin, I'd now be a millionaire and beyond. I wouldn't have to work anymore. I hear this kind of story time and time again. But fundamentally, why did those people sell too early? And let's say we find the next big hit. How can we avoid that we are going to sell that early? What I think fundamentally is going on is that the people that sold out of a specific type of fear. A fear of not realizing gains, of having been a paper millionaire and never taking any profit along the way. A fear that the asset that they bought, so Bitcoin in that case, might just be hot air and it might all come back crashing down. It might have just been a Ponzi scheme. It might have just been some elaborate marketing scam that then in the end goes back to zero. There have been many, many voices that Bitcoin will go down to zero. And so then, as per extension, maybe there is the fear that all of those gains were just due to luck. They were not really because of any inherent skill. And to a degree, right, when we make quick gains with any investment, we do feel lucky because partially, of course, we probably were. I believe those fears come out of a lack of conviction because the people that made life-changing gains in Bitcoin, they tended to be Bitcoin maximalists.